Good old Rocky Bottoms setting off the Sunday day correctly here. Welcome into the Fantasy Game Time Decision Show. We are live from the Ingles Studio. We have David Smith of Armchair Commentary joining us, the Flostradamus, and the formerly Fat Tank Spencer here in the Ingles Studio. It is time to get you set for your fantasy day. I see the questions are already rolling in. Yesterday was weird in college football.
It was.
And with all of the agreement that we had in Beat the Chief on Friday, I'm thinking the same fucking thing is going to happen in the NFL today.
Well, I said that on Friday of anytime consensus says, oh, this is going to be a bad weekend, sit back and watch.
Here come the Houston Texans with a big win today over the Washington Commanders.
All right, let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy.
Well, that's one of the ones that I'm looking at going, yeah, I don't know. That one may not go our way.
Yeah, I feel pretty sure that one's going to go our way.
You think so?
I do.
You think so? Where are the fault lines going to come this week in the NFL?
In terms of everybody feels one way about something and it goes the other?
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick one, Detroit Lions beat the Giants. That wouldn't shock me in the least. It wouldn't shock me if that was the highest scoring game of the day.
Atlanta kills Chicago.
That wouldn't shock me. And Justin Fields is just awful.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 50% owned on DraftKings. Armchair, what's your upset of the day?
Over LA?
Oh, say it again.
New Orleans over LA? Is it even an upset?
No. New Orleans a 2.5-point favorite.
Yeah, see, and that's I mean, the Steelers could beat the Bengals, I guess.
That would make sense to me. A lot of the money's on Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that defense is infinitely better. It's just impossible to tell, and Cincinnati's coming off a bye. I don't know. Las Vegas over Denver, I guess. Anything can happen there.
What's the game? Clint Kubiak's calling plays now. So if Denver comes out and just boat races the Raiders, don't be shocked if we look at Nathaniel Hackett and go, "Oink, thought you were the offensive guru there, Peckerhead."
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
That's a nice. That's what Walmart guy's saying over there.
What's the game you're trying to stack today?
Buffalo, Cleveland.
I just don't know what you want from Cleveland. I've heard that a lot.
Nick.
So, no, not Nick Chubb.
Well, I mean, look, teams have run on Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If you go Chubb, so Josh Allen doesn't play in the Dome a lot because in the AFC East, we're not pussies.
Correct.
All of our stadiums have outdoors. So we just play in whatever weather it is, good, bad, or otherwise. But when you dump, 400 feet of snow on there, I guess considerations have to be made. Allen's only played a one game in a dome this year, and he had 3 tutties, 300 yards, ran the ball well. It's against the Rams. And I just don't see how you can get away from him. I feel like he's going to be heavily owned because obviously everybody is looking at the same thing there and going, yeah, that makes sense. But his ownership isn't higher than David Montgomery or Damian Pierce. CeeDee Lamb is owned. I have a feeling that Vikings game is going to be heavily
There's going to be a lot
but
of stack there with Dak Prescott, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb.
I don't know if I love that as much. Jefferson's a dude, and I think that game's going to go a certain way, but
he's also got turf toe, just so we're clear.
Yep.
Which I'm not going to say it makes me nervous. It's just
no.
I mean, looking at the projections, we're a DraftKings family around here. We don't do that FanDuel bullshit.
That's right.
Who would you say is the highest owned player on the slate by projections?
Montgomery.
That is correct. 30% ownership on David Montgomery, and I feel like that's going to shit in your punch bowl.
Yeah, don't do that.
If you're playing a bear, it should be Justin Fields. I don't care that he's $7,600. I don't care.
And stack him with Cole Kmet.
stop.
I feel like that's what
What?
everybody's going to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not really how you attack the Falcons.
Okay.
I feel like you either go naked with Justin Fields. This is going to sound weird when I say it. You go Chase Claypool.
Really?
I don't hate that.
Because here's the thing: what has think back to the most memorable plays of the year with the Atlanta Falcons. What do they all have in common? It's them getting beat deep over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to do that? 4'7" Darnell Mooney? No. I feel like Chase Claypool is a nice place to differentiate yourself today.
I don't
That may
hate that
shit
at all.
in my punch bowl, but
But at $4,800, is
yeah,
it
because
really
you're going to
like-
have to go cheap because there's a lot of very expensive players that I really want in lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin freaking Cook was the
Yes,
first player
please.
I built lineups with.
Yes, please.
I will have all of him, as much of him as I can possibly have.
All right, let's get into the questions here before we fall way too behind.
Do me a favor, turn my headphones up just a skosh.
All right, the first question
There we
coming in. Excuse me. First question coming in from Jonna. What are your thoughts on starting DJ Shark tonight? And good afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
I don't hate it, but then he showed his lineup, and I can't sit any of those guys for DJ Chark.
No, leave it.
I physically can't sit any of them down. I'm trying to pull up my rankings as we speak. Apologies for the late start. I was at the new studio yesterday, and dumbass McDummy Pants forgot that he took all the shit with him. And I got here and sat down and went, uh-oh, there's no toys on this table, and there's supposed to be toys.
Mm-hmm. Run off and left his computer.
I did, and many props to Mr. Spencer and my wife for fixing that while I fixed the things that it led to.
Indeed.
DJ Chark for me is wide receiver number. You've got Rocky Top stuck so far in my head now that I can't function past it. He's wide receiver 41 for me. So, I mean, I think he could have a good day. I can't. I would like to see it if I have the choice, and Jonna has the choice.
Okay. Cryptunes, Singletary.
Your mic's off.
Cryptunes says Singletary, Sanders, Pacheco, or Mitchell. He needs two.
Sanders, Mitchell, but it's close. I want to say
Sanders and
Pacheco.
Mitchell for me. Isn't it hard?
I want to
It's
say
hard.
Pacheco.
Do you think? Okay, so I guess let me ask you how you think that game's going to go. Because if it's Pacheco, are they just up early and just hammering it, or are they using him like they use? Because I'm worried about the CEH bleed if they get up way too big.
And see, I'm not. I don't worry about CEH at all.
Well,
He's
CEH
been-
is a clown. Yes.
He's been borderline irrelevant no matter what they do.
But if they get up 2 touchdowns, they're going to take Isaiah off the field, right? Because he's the guy, right? And that's how it works.
Not completely, but it's just his workload will be diminished, I think. You'll start seeing those like third and fourth backs.
I don't know that I care. I don't know that I care how this goes. It's just been so clearly Pacheco over the last, 2 weeks? How many snaps
Yes.
did Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the last 2 weeks? How many snaps has he played total?
12.
You're low, but not by much. It's 21.
Mm-hmm.
The one that bothers me is Jerick McKinnon. Because that I could see happening. They get ahead, and then they go to Jerick McKinnon, and Pacheco has a good, not great day.
Have we heard about the receivers for LA?
They're all for
For the Chargers?
they think Mike Williams is going to play.
Keenan Allen?
Who knows? They think he'll play too, but that's not the first time I've heard that.
Right.
Keenan Allen's one of those, I'm not going to trust it until I see it.
I don't know how you with those guys active, I don't know how you would think that this is not going to be the back and forth contested battle.
I think it's going to be close. I think this game will be close, and everybody and their brother has run on the Chargers.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there's no way Andy Reid doesn't know that.
Yeah, in that sense.
Of course he does.
In that sense, I like Pacheco. The more you talk about it, the more I think, good God, maybe Pacheco is the answer.
I have Pacheco as a back-end RB2.
So who are you swapping in that then? Sanders? Or
No, Sanders
you're
is
no
clearly
Sanders?
Sanders is clearly the one.
Yes, it would be Mitchell.
Mitchell, I mean,
because if it's the CMC show, then
which it
Mitchell's,
could be.
Mitchell's still going to get his touches. But
I just
I'm
think
gonna
they're
be
going to
honest with you.
slaughter Arizona. And if they do, then who gets the touches?
I think that's a lot more splitty than just CMC. Which is great for CMC. It's awful for his fantasy value.
right.
Yeah, see, I could see San Francisco winning this game clearly. CMC has a good first 2 quarters, and then he plays 8 snaps in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Just remember the last game when they were trying to salt it away. It was Mitchell on the field, not CMC.
If they're running between the tackles, it's Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah.
And that's why I have Mitchell higher.
Yep. I think you're right with Mitchell and Sanders. That's my call. Pacheco's right there, but I'm not there yet.
I do love Pacheco, though.
Yes.
We have a super chat
Oh.
from Satisfied Browns fan.
He and Cunningham had a friendly wager on South Carolina, Tennessee. And then he said, Tennessee, you had one job. Rocky Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Never trust a Rocky Bottom.
They were a power bottom last night. Good Lord.
Power bottom. Is that one of the moves they taught you in prison?
No, but that's a move they would teach you in prison quick. They would teach it to you within the first hour.
Chris D says he has Isaiah Likely as his tight end. Pretty much every other tight end is taken. Should I pick up Ingram? He was dropped because of the bye week.
Yes.
Think that Trey McBride will be good.
I like Trey McBride, too, but I would go Ingram. Ingram's the safe one.
Over Likely.
Oh, God, yeah. Mark Andrews is back this week.
Oh, Mark Andrews is back.
Yeah, Mark Andrews is
Okay.
back. And I still like Likely, but he's now like back in tight end 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so
I just haven't seen them be viable together. Likely's good when there's no Andrews. And take away what I think should be happening, I would go Ingram. Ingram's a top. I mean, it doesn't do you any good this week. Jacksonville's on a bye.
Mm-hmm.
I probably just punt tight end this week, or pick up Ingram and McBride, because I do like McBride. And look at it this way: Zach Ertz was a top 8 tight end.
Yes.
In a foot race, he would lose to me. So, what do you think a 4'6" gigantic human tight end is going to do in that offense? I do think he hurts Rondale Moore.
Mm-hmm. Chris D also wants to know, says he can only start Brandon Cooks or Williams in the flex. Do we feel
I'm assuming
okay
that's
about
Jamal Williams?
No, it's Mike Williams. He said, do we feel good about him playing tonight?
I do, solely because Mike Williams because it's a foot with him. And Mike Williams is not really the I'm going to hard cut receiver. I'm going to go 50-50 ball deep.
Going long, yeah.
He's going to out jump you.
I don't really worry about a foot there. It's not like he's going to take a hard cut and all of a sudden just go down in a heap. He's going to run 9 routes. He's going to do what he does. And we've already seen him once against Kansas City this year, and I would take the risk with Williams personally.
I would roll the dice with Williams, and last second, like late afternoon, if you actually I wouldn't wait till the late afternoon, but look on your waiver wire. I would see if Justin Watson's out there. And if Watson is there,
that game last week. I played that game last week. It's
just
not
saying,
a fun game to
everybody else
play.
is
He
hurt.
doesn't get the snaps. And
he
the only way I'm
has to
doing
this
that
week, doesn't he? Isn't everybody else out? Juju's out.
Mecole and
Mecole's
Juju.
done?
So, I mean, you're going to get Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney. I still don't see the path that leads to Justin Watson taters.
I'm just saying it's better than taking a 0.
It may be a 0 with him. Now, it's one thing if you've got Josh Palmer or you've got Sky Moore or even Trey McBride in that Monday night game. That's about it. that I
Those
can
guys all
have
have
for
over
safety.
the top. They all have over the top potential. It could be a 0 versus, I don't know if I trust the other way. You could be a 0 just with no targets.
But I mean, who was the alternative? It's Williams or who?
Or Brandon Cooks against the commies.
Yeah, and he's just not getting their Seacrest
He's in
out.
the doghouse.
Yeah.
Their Seacrest out on him. I would roll with Mike Williams. I'll take the upside there, and they are pretty confident he's going to play.
Mm-hmm. But is it worth it to look for a backup just in case?
I mean, if Josh Palmer was available, that would be obviously the way I'm going to go.
Yeah, I don't feel like he would be out there.
What's
Highly unlikely.
I've definitely changed lineups like minutes before lock.
Oh, yeah.
If it looks like he's not going to go, then go find someone on waivers quick.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some there's some random guy that's out there always that you're like, well, he's going to play. But realistically, Mike Williams is going to go.
Oh, you want me to give you one? I'll give you one, but you won't really know. You may have to play this guy instead of knowing what Mike Williams will be. And I'm going to say this name one time, a whole bunch of fucking times today. Ben Skoranek.
The number 2 receiver for
Hey, where's he
the
play?
Rams.
Hey, where's he play?
Slot.
In the slot.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Cooper Kupp replacement. And he's cheap as
well.
fuck.
You can call him the Cooper Kupp replacement. He's their best receiver, not named Cooper Kupp anyway.
And he does a lot of shit.
And he's targeted.
How many lineups are you playing on DraftKings today, AC?
Jesus Christ. Something like 14.
You're just slightly ahead of me. I'm at 11. Ben Skoronek's in every one of them.
Yeah, well, he's my Greg Dulcich this week. He lets me pay up at Dalvin Cook
and Justin Fields
because
I'm at about 50% on Justin Fields.
But
I have one Buffalo Bill stack lineup that I really like, but I'm not putting it in a millionaire.
Is there a decent percentage chance that he is going to be your Greg Dulcich of last week?
He gets a lot of targets and doesn't catch any of them?
Yeah, he gets 2.
2 what?
Points.
2 points?
I mean, there's always that risk. I mean, I got railed on for Greg Dulcich. He still had 7 fucking targets.
Oh, we get it.
He was still the number 1 tight end in fantasy football in terms of routes run per drop back. So, I mean, you can say, oh, you missed that. You're stupid. Well, no, Russell Wilson just blows dead bears. I can't help that he is not good at football.
My lineup's still cashed. I don't know about you, but
mine did too.
With
Greg Dulcich.
Listen, you can play guys that are bums sometimes. It happens. The point is, don't play everyone that's a bum.
Yeah, this week you have to find somebody cheap, and there are not many out there. I cannot find anybody past Ben Skoranek and Paris Campbell.
No.
Those are the 2 cheap ones I can play. Other than that, it is blindly throwing a dart at a board.
Yeah. 100%.
Have you got anybody else cheap that you can roll out and feel even half-ass good about this week?
No, I don't. I've been looking running back. I don't think I'm cheaper than. I'm in the 6,000s with running back.
Me too.
I don't think I go below Dameon Pierce.
And
that's the lowest I'll go.
And he's going to be stupidly high on today.
See, I went a little bit high. I went just above him. I went Ramondre. I like Miles Sanders. Jonathan Taylor's love Jonathan Taylor.
See, I don't love Jonathan. I've heard Jonathan Taylor all week. I don't love that.
He's that Eagles game is going to be a slugfest, but I think Jeff Saturday only knows how to do one thing on offense. So
run the damn ball. See, I
He's
think the Colts get behind, and there is only one way to attack Philadelphia's defense, especially now because you are going to have Linval Joseph, who's, I mean, I get that he's 35 years old, but he's still better than anything I had.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, and they know. Philadelphia's looking at this going, we know exactly what it is you want to do, and we can stop it. We're going to have to sell out to stop it, but you don't have anybody else we're scared of. We can put Bradbury on Michael Pittman and end of message, repeat the line.
And just so we're all clear, I'm still not out on Dulcich this week.
I'm not either.
I'm not either.
Everybody that's like, you're an idiot for playing him. Yeah, well, $3,800 lets me do a whole lot of stuff.
I'm lathering that one up and doing it again.
Absolutely.
I'm putting that baby right in the bathtub. Let's go.
Please, sir, can I have another?
Rob Johnson wants to know flex play Curtis Samuel, Ezekiel Elliott, or Adam Thielen. Take Ezekiel Elliott out of that, in my opinion.
But now, why are you saying that?
Because I hate Ezekiel Elliott.
And facts don't care about your feelings. Mike McCarthy doesn't give a fuck about your feelings.
I'd go Thielen.
Okay, we've had 10 weeks of football so far. How many weeks has Curtis Samuel had more than 10 points?
3.
Way too low.
Yeah, it's almost all of them.
I have no idea.
It's 7 out of the 10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Curtis Samuel in PPR is like a top 15 wide receiver, I think.
Yeah, he is a cheat code. Everybody forgets about him. I like Curtis Samuel a lot. Thielen would be the
excellent.
Clear
3 there for me.
Yeah, he's a great player, but I don't know if he's going to get the love today. It's a JJ game for sure. KJ Osborne.
Ugh.
KJ Osborne.
This does strike me as a week that KJ Osborne scores a friggin' touchdown for some damn reason.
Yep. I'm on Curtis Samuel there. I don't understand. He's first off, play him in your flex. Second off, he's 5,300 on DraftKings. Pardon? Okay. I'll take it.
In PPR this year, would you like to, now look, he doesn't have high end upside.
No.
He has finished in the top, let's see. He's finished in the top 32 of wide receivers 6 times. He's finished in the top 10 exactly once.
Yes. He is exactly what he's going to give you is 12 points a game.
That's who he is.
Yep.
That's who he is. There's not high-end upside, but there's a great floor.
Yep.
Start 2 from Chris D. Ramondre, Tony, Damian Pierce.
Ramondre Pierce, and it's not even kind of close.
Not even a little.
That's 2 of my favorite running backs on the day.
Love Ramondre today.
And I feel like somebody's getting ready to say, but the Jets are good against the run. I'm well aware of that. Mm-hmm. They're good against everything else. Do you know how many targets he has in the last 3 weeks?
Ramondre?
Yes, it is a shitload.
Really?
He's just catching little dump-offs. Do you agree with that, AC?
Yeah, because that's what he does. He's taken over. That's his backfield now. And if you've ever and look, I know this team pretty well. I watch them. I listen to the interviews. I read up on what they're doing. He has been doing off-season work with old Sweet Feet, James White. So you want to know what they're working on? James White wasn't exactly between the tackles runner.
Well, I mean, Ramondre doesn't really need much hey, you're a giant. He's a big fella. Just go run right into the line. Now, I don't think he's going to do much of that, and if he does, he won't do it well.
See, what was the last meeting they had? He was the guy. He was their offense.
He had 71 yards rushing, and half of that was on one run. Yes. And it was a totally busted coverage.
Yep.
I would say that's probably his ceiling. If I had to guess,
passes.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: he never drops them either.
No. It's a PPR. It's a PPR play. It's a straight PPR play.
Yeah. And in standard, I don't like Ramondre at all. In PPR, I love him, and he's my number 4 running back on DraftKings.
Lastly, from Chris is a flex question: Josh Palmer, Michael Pittman, or Mike Williams?
Say one more of those P's, just slightly harder than you said the last 2.
Josh Palmer, Michael Pittman,
Jesus,
or Mike Williams.
Maybe put a fucking sander on those P's. Jesus,
Mike P. Williams.
Oh God, having Palmer, I would go with Mike Williams. If Mike Williams is a late scratch, I'll go Josh Palmer.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there.
Because to me, it's Mike Williams by a lot if he plays. Now, obviously, if he doesn't play, then you get into Palmer Pittman, which I think is you're very close on those 2.
Daniel Hillman has a choice at RB2, Pacheco or Mitchell.
I hate this question so much, and I have a feeling it's going to be asked a lot.
Probably.
Fuck.
I'm going Elijah Mitchell because of the game script. I think Kansas City it will be close. They will be ahead, which keeps Pacheco from getting every snap. I do feel like San Francisco will be up by a lot, and in the second half, you'll see a lot of the Elijah Mitchell show. That probably will not look like a good call with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. But by the end of it, I think it will be the right call.
Likely or Dulcich at the tight end spot.
Dulcich by a lot.
Yeah.
Jamison Elson, PPR wide receiver. Is it MVS or Keenan Allen?
I don't trust Keenan Allen.
Has to be MVS.
The good thing is that you're in the same game.
Yeah.
So if Keenan Allen's a late scratch, then you can just slide MVS in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Keenan Allen has the better ceiling, and it's not even close. But, I mean, I think that's a good enough flex.
All right, choose the quarterback for Jamison as well. Daniel Jones or Russ? I'm on Daniel Jones. It feels gross, but I am.
How'd that feel, Tank? How'd that feel?
Gross.
I rolled Russ last week, and it wasn't terrible, but it didn't go exactly my way. The Clint Kubiak thing makes me, all right, there might be something to Russ this week. I'm still going to say Daniel Jones, but that may be one that doesn't look great tomorrow.
It's Daniel Jones for me.
Yeah.
The thing about Daniel Jones, I just know that there's not really a high side there. I have Daniel Jones in I think I have 11 DraftKings lineups. Half of them have Fields. 3 of them have Daniel Jones. 1 of them has Russ.
Mm-hmm.
And the other 2 we'll get to soon enough.
Are you
with a cheap-ass quarterback who may very well be wearing the same jersey that I am right now.
Are you buying the connection that Daniel Jones has with Darius Slayton, like
Yes.
I am, or not?
Yes.
Okay.
That's who he trusts.
When I created my first DFS lineup for the week, I went, this is probably going to be something that Jeremy's going to call me a big dumb idiot for, but
Nope.
Darius Slayton and Daniel Jones.
No, I
want that
forgot
stuff.
all of the equipment we needed to actually make this show happen, so I have reserved the right to be the big dumb bear of the day.
Sloan Jordan wants to know, is it Dulcich or Foster Moreau at tight end?
Dulcich.
Dulcich.
I mean, I can save a lot of these questions. Would you like to hear the tight ends that I have ahead of Greg Dulcich this week?
Yes.
George Kittle, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce. End of message. Repeat the line. He's still getting high-end tight end volume. And now maybe give me my tinfoil hat. Maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist. How much worse can Clint Kubiak actually be? All right, if he's the one calling the plays, how much worse can he be than what Nathaniel Hackett has been?
Can't
do it.
Russ obviously trusts Greg Dulcich. Now, a couple of those targets he had last week, he was just in a terrible position. They was trying to force him the ball. I don't think the Raiders can stop him. Dulcich is one of my favorite plays of the day.
Matthew Hoffman threw this one out as a possible upset of the day, Carolina over Baltimore.
I think there is a better chance of me in the 4 o'clock games putting on a dress and drinking mojitos.
Don't they have old Applebee's at quarterback there? Or?
It's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, that's Applebee's. Future Applebee's server of the year.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he'll be working at an Applebee's.
I was like, eating good
Yes.
in the neighborhood? What the fuck does that? I don't get that one.
No, he sucks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will be.
He sucks. No thanks.
Yeah, he's not good at the footballs.
Cryptoons wants to know DJ Moore, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, or George Pickens. Pick one.
The 2 Chargers guys. I
One
would
of the
lean
2.
to Mike Williams. Yep. One of the 2 of them will play. I want who was the first one you said?
DJ Moore.
I want absolutely nothing to do with DJ Moore.
Because of Baker.
Yeah. DJ Moore is a great high-end wide receiver, too, with any quarterback not named Baker Mayfield. With Baker, he is me. Seacrest. I'll put it this way. So one of the servers at Village Porch uses me to help her with fantasy football. I'm playing Ben Skowronek over DJ Moore this week and did not think a second thing about it.
Sloan Jordan needs 2 for a Superflex league.
Oh, I love Superflex.
There's not a Superflex choice here, though. Swift, Pittman, or London?
I like Pittman.
I like Swift. And that leaves London out.
You're not going to like my answer because that's the one I was going to say.
London's the one you want? Okay.
I would have said Drake London. Look, I don't like Michael Pittman against Philadelphia. Because he's the one that I definitively know is either getting Darius Slay or James Bradbury.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Bradbury, and I think Slay will play on Alec Pierce, which will leave Paris Campbell in the slot. I like Paris Campbell a lot today. I don't like anything else for Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to be empty calories, but empty calories work just fine in fantasy football. Ask Cooper Kupp.
So in that scenario, who's your 2? So if London would be your 1, is Swift your 2?
Yes.
Okay. London would be my 2. So I think Jeremy and I will go Swift and London. And Armchair, who is your 2?
London's the clear 2 for me.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with.
So that
London.
means London is the definitive one you should play.
Exactly.
And then you have a bit of a decision. I think it's Swift just because he has a higher upside. He's still not getting the touches, which makes me nervous, but he can do a lot with limited touches.
Yes.
Donovan, PJ, or Rondale Moore? PJ. Who's PJ?
I don't know who PJ is.
Can't be PJ Walker.
No, because he's DMP dead.
Pete Jefferson. Who's he play for?
I have no.
Parker Jordan.
No. Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh, okay. I thought.
All right,
Excuse
officially,
me.
and that's his guy. Officially, we have transferred. He's a big dumb bear, folks. That's your guy. How the?
I've never said. I mean,
It's DPJ.
DPJ. Yes. Okay. All
Yes.
right. I got that. I thought this was like a 3 choice, and you're just not using commas because people don't fucking use commas anymore.
Yeah, it's DPJ.
Like, who the hell's PJ? Oh yeah, DPJ. Over Rondale Moore.
I don't like Rondale Moore with Trey McBride. I feel like they're going to try to force feed him the ball.
Taysom Hill or Tyler Higbee?
So the Taysom Hill thing is done. It's Tyler Higbee.
Mm-hmm.
This is Higbee.
Yep. PPR starts for Tom Dennison, Swift, or James Robinson. I'm going Robinson. I just feel like you guys are going to have to run the ball a shitload in that game.
I think the upside's higher on Swift.
It is, but I think the floor is higher on Robinson.
That was my thought. Because it's going to be cold. It's going to be blustery for that New England-New York game. They're both going to have to run the ball a lot. I mean, it's not obviously going to be as bad as the Buffalo-New England game.
And here's the thing. New England's not very good against the run. There's no Christian Barmore.
Mm-hmm.
Which that actually might be an improvement.
I want a Jet running back.
I want a Jet too. His name is Elijah Moore.
Why?
That's another cheap one on DraftKings that I'm.
But why? Because he hasn't done anything.
Nope, you're coming off bye week. I would say this is where you had the. I told you there was a week coming where I'm going to say play Elijah Moore,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to say you're a fucking moron.
Yep.
And then you look back and go, hey, that mulleted dipshit knows some things about the JEDS.
So they spent the bye week trying to get him in the right mind frame.
How many Jet beat writers do I talk to on a daily basis?
A couple.
Yeah, it's 8. Do you know how many of them have not mentioned Elijah Moore to me this week?
None.
It's 0. It's exactly 0. Because apparently that has just become a focal point with no Corey Davis. They know that against Bill's going to take away the one thing you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
which means you're going to have Jack Jones on Garrett Wilson, who is, by the way, a dog.
Jack Jones. Jack Jones you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a
Both guys are dogs
Yes.
in that situation.
Yes, that's why I was trying to figure out which one he was targeting.
Yes. Jack Jones is one of the legitimate players on that Patriot defense.
Absolutely.
and that means you're going to get Miles Bryant out of the slot. Okay. I think because Jalen Mills has basically been, I mean, he still plays. They rotate a lot. But as Jack Jones has gotten more snaps, it has seemed to be at the expense of Jalen Mills.
Do you want to know when you can see Jalen Mills?
Yes.
You usually see the green hair coming out of the back of the helmet after he's just got his ass beat on a deep throw.
Yeah. How many corners in the NFL, according to PFF, are rated worse than Jalen Mills?
5?
3. He's 112 of 115.
Yeah, he is not good.
Hot.
He's fine on like as a bench warmer, I guess.
Miles Bryant is the weakness, though, correct?
Yes.
The slot is the weakness.
Yep.
So I see a path. And look, this is what people seem to forget about when the Jets played the Patriots the first time. And I know you've made fun of how I said this. He still threw for 340 fucking yards and 3 touchdowns. Yes, he had 3 god-awful bad decisions. Other than that, there was absolutely nothing stopping him. He crushed New England. And a lot of it was Garrett Wilson. Do you think Bill's going to let him do that again?
No.
Then who the fuck else is he going to throw it to?
Got to be.
You think it's going to be Denzel Mims or Tyler Conklin or Michael Carter?
Braxton Berrios.
Yeah, Braxton.
Of which Braxton's tough to get on the field now because Elijah Moore's the one playing out of the slot.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put Braxton Berrios on the outside, he might actually die.
M85's got a super chat. You got the button?
Oh, I got a button.
I'm your huckleberry.
There it is. Raiders have the second pick. You're the GM. Quarterback or defense? Defense BPA.
Best player available.
Best player available.
M85, if I'm the GM of the Raiders and I have the second pick, I'm going to call every quarterback needy team because that means either C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young's on the board. I'm going to push myself down. I'm going to go get a left tackle, whether it be Ola Fashanu, whether it be Jalen Duncan, somebody in that meaty clackers part of the first round, and I'm going to stack draft picks because I can probably hijack some team to give me something stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to rebuild this team. Derek Carr's not the problem. I mean, if you watch this team, it's very obvious. Derek Carr's not the problem here. The problem is that you have a lack of talent in certain places, and they tend to be very important places, like the offensive line.
I have a feeling Jimothy Garoppolo may be available in the offseason.
And I would rather have Derek Carr.
Would you?
And it's not necessarily all that close to me.
Derek Carr's, I like Derek. Listen, I am not here to slander Derek Carr because I don't think he's the problem with this team. I really don't. I've never thought he was the problem. I never understood the people just sitting and shitting on Derek Carr like he's the one that's just making all the offensive play calls. He's not.
He's not. I'm going to be totally transparent here because we have another.
I'm your huckleberry.
From Curtis Davis. I have been looking for something to do a live Q&A in the new studio, and I believe these two have given me what it is. It's Jeremy's going to play GM.
Yeah.
What would you do if blank? I can't wait for y'all to see all the toys that I saw yesterday. It's so good. It's better than the old studio.
Curtis Davis says, so if you're the Chargers next year, what would y'all do with Jamari Salyer? Slide him to left guard or stick him on the opposite side to right tackle?
I'm going to play him at right tackle. I think I think he is a good solution at right tackle. I mean, and look, he's an Elgton Jenkins kind of guy. He can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to pencil him in on the right side. He's held up nicely on the left side. So I'm going to have Rashawn Slater. I'm going to have Jamari Salyer. I have Zion Johnson at guard that and it hasn't been great at all times this year, but I still believe in it. With Corey Linsley. And I have an offensive line, and my line is pretty good. That's what I would do. I can't wait to play that game. Jeremy plays GM for all 32 teams in the league.
Back to the fantasy questions here. Jamison Elson picked 2 of 3 wide receivers. Kadarius Toney, Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore. Tony.
God, I don't think you could have asked me 3 receivers that I like less today if you'd put my 2 ex-wives in there.
Now, why Tony? Why do you hate Tony?
How many snaps did he play last week? Oh, but he...
I think it was like 44, wasn't it?
No, it was not. Give me a minute, I'll tell you, because I have Kansas City snap counts pulled up for... I don't know for why, but I do. Last week, Kadarius Toney, DLM, that one. I had running backs pulled up. My bad. 28.
28.
How many played the week before that?
6.
9. Even with Juju Smith-Schuster DNP dead, it changed not shit. So I don't love to. I mean, there's high upside because obviously they value him as a playmaker. They just don't value him as a down-in, down-out receiver. When you're setting lineups like this, you have to look at opportunity cost. If you're only playing 25 snaps, your target rate has to be 20% or higher. Do you know how many receivers in the NFL had a 20% target rate last week?
How many?
11. And you know who none of them were? Kadarius Toney.
Mm-hmm.
So that's.
But if he went from 9 to 28
with an injury, with 2 injuries,
right? Is he not getting more involved? And now that the injuries are still a factor, will he not play more this week?
I don't think there's a causation like that. It hasn't appeared that way. And I'll tell you who I'm using as the linchpin of this is Sky Moore. They're the same player. At the end of the day, these are two guys that can't run routes, but they're electric with the ball in their hand. It hasn't gone that way for Sky Moore. Mm-hmm. So why the hell would I think it's going to work that way for Kadarius Toney? They just chuck out different things. And you have to remember that Kansas City will, at the end of the day, they know exactly what I know, that the way you beat this team is by bleeding them like a catfish, running right at them, which means Pacheco's usage will go up. I'm trying to think of how to say this because I'm not trying to sound like a jackass. I've heard this Kadarius Toney thing so many times.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember usage is like a pie. There is no, hey, we're just going to bake another fucking pie. If it goes somewhere, it has to come from somewhere. So Juju's got this usage rate that gets dispersed. We've seen this before. If you look back to when Tyreek Hill missed games, what happened? Travis Kelce's piece of the pie would get bigger, and they would divvy everything else out like they were the Democratic Socialists of Kansas City, of everybody gets Everybody gets 1. Well, if you add 1 to what he's doing, that doesn't do anything for me. Now, that being said, I would play Kadarius Toney over DJ Moore. I don't know who you're going to say that I'm going to say, yes, DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be low.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Indeed. Rob Johnson asks, should I play Jamal Williams over DeAndre Swift?
Yes. He's still getting red zone touches.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that I feel like Jamal Williams has a much safer floor.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you have to remember that DeAndre Swift could get a splinter in his pinky toe and be out for 4 weeks.
He could. How many touches did he have last week?
DeAndre Swift?
7. I already looked. It was 7.
Yeah.
Jamal Williams had 16 carries.
Well, I mean, what am I going to say? Go back to the snap count. How many snaps did DeAndre Swift play?
22.
He played 19.
Okay.
Jamal Williams played 25,
mm-hmm.
and Justin Jackson played 17. That's the part of this that nobody ever thinks about, is that they still use Justin Jackson for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I don't know, because Dan Campbell's taking too many blows to his unformed head.
Well,
I don't know.
I think he's playing the game. He's playing the game of who's the star running back. Regardless of what the touches say, who's the star? Who's the future?
The captain now. That's right.
It's DeAndre Swift.
Yep.
We're what? 3-6? Why the fuck am I going to run an oft-injured running back who is the future of my franchise in a shit season once again? I'm gonna use all of the pieces that I have at my disposal. We'll use DeAndre every now and then. Give us a little bit of a spark. But for the most part, I'm going to lean the heavy work on Jamal. I'm going to lean a little bit of work on Justin Jefferson, and we'll just take our shots with DeAndre for the rest of the season.
Justin Jackson.
What did I say?
Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, not
if
that
they
guy.
had Justin Jefferson, this would be a completely different conversation.
Right.
It's a very different conversation.
Justin Jackson, excuse me.
I mean, now they have very close to that in Amon-Ra St. Brown. By the way, proof positive that Jeremy should have a job in somebody's front office somewhere.
Indeed.
Did you see the story about him?
I loved it. With the kid in the wheelchair.
Oh, did you see that, Armchair?
Absolutely.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, I shared this on my social medias. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a long conversation with a kid in a wheelchair before a game last week. He posted on Twitter, does anybody know how to get a hold of this kid? I want to send him a signed jersey. The mom chimed in and said, he has not stopped talking about your conversation with him I mean, look, I don't have a soul. I don't have tears. I don't have emotions.
Like I see some.
I'm telling you, the golden buzzer of fucking America's Got Talent gets me every friggin' time. Sick children, I just here, take money.
Yeah.
I don't fucking. I have money. Here, you have some of it.
I do love Amon St. Brown.
That's the only thing that brings out like any form of emotion in me.
Yeah.
Now, granted, when I saw that last night, I was about 43 domestic lights and fireballs in, so that cranks up the old emotional decibel level.
Right. John Curtis, full PPR, need one running back and one flex.
I feel like that's a new name.
John Curtis?
I think.
Maybe.
Oh, if it is.
If you are new.
Whether it is or not, we're like an A meeting for sports. Feel free to chime in your drug of choice in the comments. Mine's, at this point, Derek Carr. I can't quit you.
You should.
I should.
You should. At least for this year, anyway.
100%.
He needs one running back, one flex. All right, so the running backs are Antonio Gibson, James Robinson, Elijah Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Really?
By a lot.
For me, it's Gibson, not close.
You're drunk as hell.
Against the Detroit Lions, or the Houston Texans.
Take what you think out of it.
Okay.
Brian Robinson is getting the 1 touches. It's not deniable. And this is a prime matchup. I'll be honest with you. I like Brian Robinson on DraftKings. Because
Really?
I won't be shocked if I will not be shocked if Brian Robinson gets the Mo Ibrahim treatment of last night against Iowa, where they just keep giving him the damn ball until he dies. It won't shock me in the least.
But that was a competitive game.
This will be a competitive game.
You think so?
Nobody blows out the Houston Texans.
Mm-hmm.
Houston's
Nobody
defense
blows
is a
them.
lot better than everybody thinks it is.
Nobody blows them out. And here's the thing. They play a shitload of man at this point. Why? I don't know. What does that lead to? If you have a quarterback that can move at all, Taylor Heineke, not really.
Mm-hmm.
Or you start running draws where the receivers go out and route, and then they go, oh, fuck. He had a ball. I like Brian Robinson a lot. Antonio Gibson is irrelevant as hell to me. I think I've got him in the 40s today.
That's crazy.
See, this is where Tank lets his own personal biases cloud his judgment.
Okay, great. Brian Robinson gets 26 carries. He's going to do 60 yards.
Okay.
Even if Antonio Gibson gets 10 or 12, he could do that and get into the end zone twice.
All right, so what has told you that over the course of this year? Other than the fact that you really like Brian Robinson or that you really like Antonio Gibson?
I feel like he's done that a couple of times.
I was trying to stall you to get to Antonio Gibson, who has had 2, I don't think you can call them giant games, but they've been pretty sizable.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a mid-tier RB2.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he lives.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
Has Brian Robinson been
How many?
any better?
How many people have scored more than 30 points on the Texans?
Would you like to hear it again?
No, one team did.
Oh, one team.
No, 2 teams did. Sorry, the Chargers did in Week 4.
That was
And
the
the
one I
Raiders.
remembered.
Yeah, Chargers did in Week 4, and the Raiders did in Week 7. Every other game has been close and close. Tied the Colts, lost to the Broncos in a 16-9 riveting affair. Like, this team isn't giving. They're not getting. They're losing. They're losing handedly. Nobody is coming in there and running them over as easily as we thought. The points aren't necessarily there. I don't love that play. You're there's a pie, Tank. Do you remember the pie?
The pie.
Look to the pie. All right, let me ask you a question.
Pie.
How many of the games that Antonio Gibson has scored double-digit points, how many of those games did he not score a touchdown? It's happened 6 times this year. He has 6 double-digit fantasy.
Say 0.
It's 1.
Okay.
It was the first week of the season.
Mm-hmm.
He's a touchdown-dependent RB2 in a game that we just said was going to be low-scoring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go Brian Robinson. Because when they get to the 1-yard line, which is how you beat Houston, is just by bleeding them out. When they get to the 1, who gets the ball? It's Brian Robinson 100 times out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a path that Antonio Gibson scores a touchdown unless he does something that I don't necessarily think he's capable of doing, in this offense. I think he's a fine enough player.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said you were too high on him.
Mm-hmm. I get it.
But he's touchdown dependent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good. For me, it's Elijah Mitchell. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Already, he says he's already starting CMC and Lamb.
Okay, that may change things a little bit because playing CMC and Elijah Mitchell throttles your ceiling. Who's the third?
James Robinson.
I don't know if I'd change it.
It takes away your ceiling to such a point.
Do you think that game is going to be close?
San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
I think your ceiling's fine. Normally like it will.
Well, this could be tale of two halves because it could be CMC heavy in the first. You know what? I'm sticking with my guns. I'm playing the better player. Elijah Mitchell's the better player. It's not close.
So you're playing both San Francisco running backs.
Yeah.
And they will both have excellent games. They will be.
I think they're both double-digit scorers. Both probably get the end zone.
Okay.
15 to 20 points.
For the flex, he wants to know Kadarius Toney, DJ Moore, Josh Palmer, Keenan Allen.
Oh,
he's already played Christian Watson.
Where is this question?
From
right
John
under Rob
Curtis.
Johnson. Should I play Williams over Swift? Is that the one we're looking at from John Curtis?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I went too far. Armchair, you go first, and because I don't love any of these.
Kadarius Toney, DJ Moore, Josh Palmer, or Keenan Allen in a flex.
I feel like this is one of those you play Keenan Allen until you find out who the scratches are.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
And then you swap in
Palmer.
If Allen's healthy, you play Allen. If he's not, then you flex to Josh Palmer. And I'll be honest with you, I see a path that Mike Williams plays, Keenan Allen doesn't, and Josh Palmer actually ends up being the receiver you wanted.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Those two have not played a ton together.
Nope.
There's a stat about that, and I'm trying to remember it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head.
All right. Everett, if Everett is healthy, do I start Dulcich or Everett?
Dulcich.
That was from Jonah.
Greg Dulcich is my mulleted spirit animal. So, as I said earlier, he's my tight end 4 this week.
He's Jeremy's drug of choice, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. I shoot him right in the vein. Let's go.
He's also in every one of my lineups, so I can't say shit about it.
Give me a tourniquet and a shitty mid-90s car. Let's go. I've been watching Sopranos. I just saw the ending last night.
Oh, you got to the I got to the end. What did you think?
At the end, blows dead bears.
What?
The ending's awful. Look, and spoilers, sorry, it's 15 friggin' years old, all right? So nobody spoiled it for me, and I greatly appreciate that. If you're going to off the guy, friggin' off him. Don't, we're sitting in a diner, and this is you're representing the daughter. I actually thought my shit had broken. Because I was watching on HBO Max. I thought it broke. And I'm looking at Amy going, what? And then the credits rolled, and I went, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Hot take. There aren't such things as great season finale endings to shows. There's series finales.
Friends was a good ending. How I Met Your Mother was a good ending.
Good, sure. Great.
There's a great one somewhere.
Show me, because I can tell you that I watch them, and usually what ends up happening is, I don't know, it was purgatory the whole time, and you're like, shut up, Lost, you're drunk, go home.
I never saw Lost.
Do what?
Don't it Lost, they ended up being in you thought it was purgatory in season 1, and then they're like, no, there's spirit, and they went through this whole thing, and then at the very end they're like, yes, it was.
Yes.
Spoiler
So
alert.
all of them had already died.
Yes.
And you were just watching
They were in
spiritual
purgatory.
fever dream for 7 seasons. Yeah, fuck
No,
off.
they're in purgatory, so they didn't pass over, and they were trying to decide if that was. I don't even think the writers know. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure most writers start writing shows and they're like, "This is going to be great," and then they get to the end and they're like, "I don't know, kill someone and give someone a horse, and we'll call it a day."
Everybody dies.
Sons of Anarchy from Hillman is probably one of the better ones, but
I never
again,
saw it.
death.
Yeah.
Oh, you should watch Sons.
Yeah, Sons
You
of
should watch
Anarchy
Sons.
was a
Sons
good
is
ending.
excellent.
Yeah, I can't get into motorcycle things.
You don't start into motorcycle things. You start into guns and whores and all that fun stuff and drugs, and then
of which I'm
you
into all those
eventually
things.
end up eventually liking a motorcycle. It is what it is.
Yeah, that's one of those shows that I have told Jeremy time and time again, like you kind of need to watch that.
Give it a shot.
Now he finally
Give it a
listened to me about Sopranos,
And it was awesome.
so
Until the end.
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
I thought the ending was fine. The
Awful.
Sopranos.
It was awful. And I was drunk and angry, and I just went to sleep, and then I woke up at like 7 o'clock, still mad and still kind of drunk and animated and yelling for no reason.
Daniel Hillman made some trades here that he wants graded.
Hot.
Says he went crazy at trade deadline day and made 3 trades. Grade the trades.
see it.
First trade, I traded Mark Andrews, Stephon Diggs, and Aaron Jones, and got back Travis Kelce, Travis Etienne, and Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, I don't like that one at all.
Nope.
You upgraded a little bit at tight end, tremendous downgrade at running back or at
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
and you stayed about neutral at running back.
Yeah.
Third trade, traded James Robinson and Dallas Goedert, and got back Mike Gesicki and Brandon Ayuk.
That one I like better.
That's a lot better. Yeah.
You got the best player in that deal. If you're going to ask me about trades, ask yourself this question: who got the best player? Now, if it goes 6 deep, who got the 2 best players? If that's the same, go to the third. If you go to whoever got 2 of the top 3, that's probably who won for me.
But what was the second trade? He said he made 3 trades. First trade, and then gave us the third trade.
Yeah.
What was the second trade?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
Wasn't important.
You do what?
It wasn't important.
It wasn't important. It wasn't important enough to, yeah.
Irv Smith for someone else on the IR.
Right.
Irv Smith for Brees Hall.
Yeah.
We'll take your answer off the air.
Yeah.
Let's see. JETS Jets plus 3.5 from Ascendo Wildrift. Vikings in the money line. Justin Jefferson over his total yards. And his banger, Texans plus the 3.
I don't hate any of that.
Because Washington doesn't want to go into a sludge match with a worse running back. Pierce wins this one.
Wouldn't shock me. Now, I will tell you this. Washington's pretty good against the run.
Yeah, they are.
I feel like Dameon Pierce a trap this week.
Mm-hmm.
He is stupidly high owned on DraftKings, and I never even considered him. What was your running back pull today, Armchair?
It's not a lot.
Yeah, mine went 5 deep.
I think I'm 4 deep. Like I said, I don't have a lot of variety on running back. My player pool in general this week is really tight.
Mine was 2. I mean, at running back, I was Dalvin Cook, Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery. I have a smattering of Nick Chubb, and by that I mean very little, but enough to wet my old whistle.
Mm-hmm.
I have another one, and now I can't remember who it was. I had a cheap one.
Was it Brian Robinson?
It was Brian. That is exactly who it was. Brian Robinson at 5,300.
Yeah, I can tell you that the majority of my lines may have some combination of Cook, Stevenson, and Robinson. I have one line with Dameon Pierce. One.
Ask yourself this question. How many running backs at 5,300 can you get that got 26 attempts in their last game? How many running backs in the NFL have gotten 26 attempts in a game? It's very few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And this is the worst run defense in the NFL.
Yasir Ahmed, do I start Keenan Allen or Darnell Mooney at the flex? Feel like Darnell Mooney is in for a big game. Maybe it's today against the Falcons. Also got Hollywood Brown. Could come back. What do I do?
Hollywood won't be back this week. I would go Darnell Mooney. It's just safety.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have a game for the Bears because I do think Justin Fields will be good this week.
Rob Johnson asked Jimmy G, Kirk Cousins, or Dak? It's Cousins for me.
It's going to sound crazy, but it might be Dak.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. I love that Armchair can't see my face, and he literally just said exactly what was marinating over me. I think it is Dak.
I don't think they win the game. I think it's close. I think it's high scoring-ish. It's probably over 50.
I think the Bullets stack is Dak, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson. I think that's as bullets as you can get. And, I mean, Dak has not had a really great game, but he also hasn't killed you. And he's cheap as shit on DraftKings. Yes, 6,600 is cheap.
Yeah, it is.
And you go CeeDee Lamb at 7,500? Yeah. Yeah, that's not bad. You can also go Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Dalvin Cook. Assume Minnesota's ahead and Dallas has to throw. I heard a Minnesota beat writer say, they might just look at CeeDee Lamb and go, he can kill us, but nobody else is going to, and put Patrick Peterson on Michael Gallup. If they do that, CeeDee Lamb is going to have a bajillion yards today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate that one bit.
Pratham Puskar. That's got to be new. I've
one's
never
new.
seen
Hey, Meeting for Sports, feel free to put your drug of choice in the comments.
And also in the comments, put the pronunciation on your name.
Yeah, because we don't want to fuck your name up. Enough people have called me Jeremy Greene that I want to be sure we get your name right.
That's a far cry from Pratham Puskar. Jeremy Greene. All right, Pratham. He says he has an offer in a 6-man PPR for giving up D-Hop and Amon-Ra St. Brown for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd have to get another player back. In leagues that small, you have to remember that stars rule the day because you only have so many spots and everybody is loaded. So for me, giving up to me, Amon-Ra St. Brown rest of season is right behind Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
And DeAndre Hopkins ain't far behind either one of them. So now I would do that in reverse, but I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah. Who covers Jefferson today?
Trayvon Diggs, poorly.
That doesn't matter. That's not the part that Azendo's saying it's Cousins, but I think that front gets after Cousins enough to disrupt. It's not that I think he's going to have a bad game. I think Jeremy's bang on. They get up. Dalvin Cook runs the ball like crazy because that's what Dalvin Cook does, and Dak's got to throw.
How many paths to success does Minnesota have? Could be Justin Jefferson. Could be Kirk Cousins just divvies it to everyone. Could be Dalvin Cook. Could be a couple. Could be a defensive score. How many's Dallas have?
It's the KJ Osborne day.
How many's Dallas have?
CeeDee Lamb.
One.
It's Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you try to run with him, good luck with that. Especially with Ezekiel Elliott, who I think in a foot race right now would lose to me.
And Tony. Don't forget Tony.
But as soon as Dak comes back, they start throttling his touches. He's going to be throttled at 15 touches with Ezekiel Elliott on the field. Because Mike McCarthy is a big, dumb animal.
Pennywise wants to know, would it be crazy to start Daniel Jones over Kirk Cousins today?
No. Just want to let you guys know, KJ Osborne had 11 targets last week. 11 targets last week. He didn't have a great performance. But yeah, it's I mean, with Hawk there, people thought he was going to be the guy that's out, and he's $4,000 on DraftKings. So if you wanted that cheapy Cousins stack, you could easily bring him in, or you could get him as your cheap piece and still run high-end running back everywhere.
Matthew Hoffman asks, is Kenyon Drake a good DFS pickup today?
He's a bad real-life football player, but somebody is going to do things for the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think Gus is going to play. If Gus doesn't play, you don't have any other running backs. So, I mean, we saw what Joe Mixon did to Carolina. Whoever's getting touches out of that backfield is a viable play. I cannot stop looking at this Violent Night promo on DraftKings. Have either of you seen this?
No.
It's a Christmas horror movie where Santa loses his shit and starts beating the hell out of people with a sledgehammer.
Yep.
Like, are we out of things to do?
Oh yeah, with the dude from the Black Widow movie. Yeah.
I don't know what that
means. You don't know. You don't watch good Marvel movies.
No, I watch most of the Marvel movies. I didn't watch that one.
You should.
I don't even know what that one is, if I was being really honest.
It's the Black Widow movie.
Which I don't know. Who is that?
The girl. The
Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
Yeah. They're ancillary characters in the big movie. Why would I watch a movie about them? It's just like the bow and arrow guy.
They're just as important as all the other characters.
Oh, it's just like the bow and arrow guy. If they made one about him, guess what? I'm not watching that either.
You should. That was a good show.
They made a show about him?
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Look, it's Jeremy, what is his name?
Remner.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner. Hey, he's got bow and arrows. Pew, pew. Fuck off. I'll watch Mac football.
Nice.
Maction
coming at you.
Yeah, the guy that plays Santa Claus in that Violent Night movie, he played Scarlett Johansson's dad in the Black Widow movie.
All right, I need a refill on coffee because I forgot an energy drink. So if I become decaffeinated, I will die.
Satisfied Browns fan says this is going to be a bad day for quarterbacks. He can feel it.
I don't disagree. That's why I have a very particular set of quarterbacks. Names are Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, and Dak Prescott.
Black Cats and Hurricanes. I'm in big trouble at running back this week. Who do I go with? Darrell Henderson, Damian Pierce, or excuse me, not Damian Pierce, Harris, and Jerick McKinnon. Hey, you should draft better. I mean, is there anybody on the waiver wire? Can you pick up I don't know. Who's the rookie from Arizona?
Eno Benjamin?
No, the other one.
Hold on.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Totally space on.
I've been in a situation where I had to play him. Keontae Ingram.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, just play him.
Gross.
Yeah, it's all gross. Out of those three, though, Harris? You're the Patriot.
I don't love Harris today. It could be McKinnon out of that, to be honest with you. Just because the
Kansas City gets up
on that. Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
We did.
But how, Pacheco gets pulled a little bit and CEH is nowhere to be found. So McKinnon could get some of the work. That's ugly.
It is.
BC and H.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah. T's and P's for your running backs.
Hopefully you have a couple of studs that go off today, and it won't matter which one of them you play.
Exactly.
Kendall Hinton is in Denver, is a dart throw at wide receiver with Jerry Jeudy and KJ Hamler. That's from Matthew Hoffman.
I suppose.
Yeah. Very long shot, though.
Yeah. That's definition of a dart throw.
It's like Guinness Book of World Records dart throw. Just
it's not quite
chuck it from the 50-yard line.
It's up there. I don't mind it, Hoffman.
BCNH also says he needs 2 receivers: St. Brown, T. Higgins, Mike Williams.
Not Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'm going Brown and Higgins.
For safety. Mike Williams is a great play. I just think that Amon-Ra has a great game. Higgins will be fine. I think that's good.
Ascendo says, how are people on Taylor today? Sue and Joseph are going to eat that motherfucker alive. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, is Ndamukong Suh just going to jump right in there and get a bunch of snaps?
He's probably going to get a bunch of snaps, but
Signed
I don't know.
3 days ago.
Jonathan Taylor will get, he'll get opportunity, and that's why people are on Taylor today. It's last week he finally showed up. This week, I don't know what else you're going to see. You got a coach that's playing for his life here. He went back to his old faithful in terms of starter. He's a former center, so he knows O-line. He's getting the O-line in the right direction. Taylor's their most talented player.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people are on him.
He says the Colts have one literal way of being able to run behind Quentin Nelson. That's it. And that's only if he can beat Sue one-on-one.
I don't think Sue's much of a factor today.
And there's a small chance that he does.
I don't think Sue's much of a factor today. Linval Joseph will get more snaps today.
Mm-hmm. Ascendo was asking about why are people on Taylor because he sees Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh shutting him down.
Oh, well, I mean, you forget about Fletcher Cox, too. So you're going to have Fletcher Cox and Linval Joseph on the interior of that line. And you got a Philadelphia team that knows exactly what they want to do. There's one player for me for the Indianapolis Colts, and it's Paris Campbell.
Paris Campbell. Yes, Lisa, looks like Mark Andrews is going to be active today.
That is the way it is trending that way, yes.
Barmore out for a few weeks.
Yes.
Bill Belichick says.
That's fine.
I'm not actually sure that that's not an improvement.
Jeremy Rector says play anyone from, or don't play anyone from Vegas.
Correct. Did you answer the Tyler Cunningham? Where do I have Kamara among PPR running backs?
I did
today?
not. I was saving that for when you came back and then skipped it.
Let's see. Today I have Kamara at 7.
Half PPR, pick 2. Najee, Ayuk, DJ Moore, George Pickens, or Darnell Mooney. That from Big
Can you
Birds.
say those P's any harder? Like that, there's aggressive.
George Pickens.
What was that? The one in Gary Oldman in Friends, where he just spits all over him. He's like, "That's good acting and pronunciation." When you turn my headphones up, those are incredibly loud. All right, ask the question again. I got distracted because every P was very violent.
Half PPR. Najee, Ayuk, DJ Moore, George Pickens, and Darnell Mooney. You got to pick 2 and a half PPR.
I love how mildly he went.
Pickens.
I think
Mooney for me.
The Najee bounce back was, I think, fool's gold.
Predictable. We told you it would happen.
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to go Ayuk. It's not Najee. It's not DJ Moore.
It's Mooney.
It's
Ayuk and Mooney for me.
It's Mooney. I want to say Pickens because I do think Pittsburgh's either going to win this game or keep it close, which means somebody's going to score. I just don't know who.
I would think it would be Harris if it was going to be.
And hell,
anybody.
it might be the damn defense. Because if you had to pick somebody to score for Pittsburgh,
it's Najee.
Do you not think it's strip sack back to the house?
No.
I could see that game being so low scoring. I'm talking 13-10.
Yeah.
But I do think Chicago Atlanta has shoot 'em out potential because neither one of them are good defensively.
All right, Saints or Jets defense?
It's the Jets.
Really? I was going Saints.
You might be right.
Against the Rams, and they're cheap.
I
think it's the Saints.
Allow me to defer to the rankings. They're right on fucking top of each other. Yeah, you're probably right. I have the Saints one spot ahead of the Jets. The Saints are 7 and the Jets are 8.
I use your line. Did that feel good?
I'm ever since I picked the Jets to win this game, I have done nothing but backtrack. Because Bill is the big scary bear in the closet that they're going to find some way to beat us again. I don't know how.
I refuse to pick this game.
I have absolutely no idea how they're going to beat us, but they're going to find some friggin' way, and I'm going to be drunk.
Hunter Henry, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns.
That's not going to be one.
Jonnu Smith shows up.
Jacoby Myers is the one that I can't get away from.
Where
do you attack the Jets? The Jets have 2 top 10 corners. Where do you attack them? Out of the slot. I mean, Michael Carter's a good slot corner, but he's the worst of the 3.
Yeah. Slot and dump off passes to Ramondre.
Yeah, Ramondre's really the one.
This is gonna be a time of possession smash mouth game. I think Mac throws the ball 11 times today. To be honest with you.
If he throws the ball 11 times, the Jets are going to beat the shit out of New England.
It is windy as shit there. Gusts on the diagonal. It's 40 degrees.
Oh,
it's not going to throw a bunch. Yeah.
I mean, and we've seen Mac in win games.
Yes.
Oh, God, you're right. Sustained 25. Good God.
Yeah, it's a run game. It's a run game.
Boys and girls,
do
yourself a favor. Go get the under on this game right now.
Yeah.
Neither one of these quarterbacks play well in weather games.
I was going to say this isn't like a stunning declaration for Zach Wilson's going to have a great game either. This is going to be a run game. It's going to be dump offs. It's going to be short passing. It's going to be a lot of slotty receivers.
I just went to wager it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
took it off the board, didn't
40. They? I think it was 42.5.
Okay.
Friday when we picked these games, it's 37.5 right now, and I'm not sure. I wouldn't still take the fucking under.
17-10.
Do you remember Mac Jones the last time we saw him play in just a god-awful weather game? And this is not a god-awful weather game, but it is very windy.
Yeah, what was it? He had 6 yards?
Yeah, he threw, 8 times?
Twice. No,
he threw twice.
No, he didn't throw 8 times. He threw 2 times, so he got away from the one-time record, and he had 1 completion.
I'm going to say something that's going to sound completely insane. And this is not a fantasy take. This is just I'm telling you how I think this is going to go. I will bet you $1 to a donut that the last pass attempt in this game is not from Mac Jones.
They're going back up?
I will bet you Bailey Zapp is in this game before I'll say at halftime. I'll say the Jets get up big. And by big, I mean in a game this low, I'll say they're up 14-3 at halftime. And they go to Bailey Zapp. Bailey Zapp comes in and brings them back. I mean, Bailey Zapp played at Western Kentucky and was it Houston Baptist? I don't remember where he's from.
I think that's right. Right.
But I've seen him play in weather games, and he's better than Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
This could be one of those where you watch Mac and go, how are you in the NFL for 2 quarters? Him in wind is a joke. I feel better now that I know that, and worse at the same time of we're going to get Bailey zapped. And then next week's going to be fun of, is New England punting on Mac Jones? Yeah, probably. Yeah, because he sucks.
Parton asked Ramondre or Najee.
Ramondre by a lot.
Za 215. Flex 1.
God.
Gabe Davis, Josh Jacobs, Kadarius Toney, or Mike Williams. Flex 1 of them.
You draft real good. It's Gabe Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Inactives are in.
Oh.
First batch of inactives, I should say.
Who's the better pickup, DPJ or Kadarius Toney?
DPJ.
Mm-hmm. That was from Kelvin Joyner. Paul Richardson says Taysom Hill or Rondale Moore. Ooh. mean,
Rondale,
Rondale,
I guess you have to.
but who's on the waiver wire?
Rondale, and it's all about snap count.
Is Buffalo's secondary ever going to be healthy again?
No. They have no one in the secondary. Jesus Christ. They have no
They're
one.
killed again. They're killed
No
again.
Russo. No Kyrie Elam. No Tre'Davious White.
Yikes.
No.
That's the shootout game. I don't have enough pieces of that game.
They're also out Tremaine Edmonds. It's just gross.
I don't have enough shares of Buffalo Cleveland.
I told you to get Buffalo Cleveland. It might be Nick Chubb. Or is it DPJ? Are we going to have a big throwing game?
Well, I mean, here's the question. Who the fuck is playing in the secondary for Buffalo? I mean, to the best of I can remember, they're going to be trotting out 3 rookies.
Yeah.
Which makes me think.
Cooper.
So, I can't.
Are we doing it? Are we playing the Jacoby Brissett DPJ stack?
I mean, I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Maybe with a little Nick Chubb and Dalvin Cook at running back.
Can either one of you name a corner that's going to play in this game?
No.
For the Buffalo Bills?
No.
No.
All right, so you have no Tre'Davious White. You have no Kyrie Elam. You probably get Christian Benford on DPJ and Dane Jackson on
Christian Benford?
He's a rookie out of Villanova. He's actually not been bad. Dane Jackson hadn't been bad. But that's with a tremendous pass rush. And with no Rousseau, it's Von Miller and Epinesa and ugh.
Yeah.
Probably see a lot of Boogie Basham in this game.
Josh Allen will win this game. I absolutely think Josh Allen will win this game. I am concerned that this is going to be a big old gross fest.
How many games on the board have a higher over-under than Bills-Browns?
3.
It's Chiefs-Chargers.
I was going to say Chiefs.
If you're looking at the DK main slate, that's the highest number on the board, and it's not. The only one close is Bears-Falcons and Vikings-Cowboys. Well, I have pieces of the other two.
No Gus Edwards today for Baltimore. He is officially out.
I feel like that was predictable.
Yep.
You know what? I'm going to Amari Cooper. I'm going to Amari Cooper because I don't know how they're going to stop him. I don't know how they're going to. In a dome, it's going to be high scoring. Buffalo knows what you want to do. They know you want to run. They're going to make Jacoby Brissett beat you. And if he's going to do that, I'm stacking Gabe Davis and Amari Cooper. With no Greg Newsome, I don't even remember who the third outside corner in Cleveland is. So Gabe Davis, I would almost bet you hits a 40-yarder or better at some point today. Probably ends up in the end zone. I'm playing 4 receivers. I don't know that I've ever done that before. I think it's the first lineup I've ever had a wide receiver in the fucking flex. Ugh.
Chris D says someone dropped Jawan Johnson. Better him than Evan Ingram?
No. I mean, this week, yes, because one of them plays and one of them doesn't.
Right.
I hate the lineup.
PPR flex, Pacheco, Singletary, Pickens, or Allen from Cryptunes. PPR flex, Pacheco, Singletary, Pickens, or Keenan Allen.
I'll say Pacheco.
I think I'm with you there.
Just because of the safety?
Yeah.
I mean, I know Pacheco's going to play. I don't know that Keenan Allen's going to play. And it wouldn't shock me in the least if he didn't. You know, the more I'm thinking about it, is there a possibility that Alvin Kamara just beats the absolute fuck out of the Rams?
There's a chance.
Yes, there's a chance.
There's a very good chance.
God, that Cleveland game's going to be a shootout because there's no Greg Newsome on the other side at all, right?
Not. Nope, there's not.
No Perry and Winfrey.
I hate when I get to this point where I get inactives and I go, okay, I've had a big old gross blind spot. Oh, I hate fantasy football so much. I hate fantasy football so much.
I hate it. I hate this.
Matthew Hoffman says he's got 8,900 to play with for a flex. So everyone except Justin Jefferson. Who's the go-to guy?
In the flex?
Mm-hmm. It's got 8,900 to play with, so it rules out everybody but Justin Jefferson. Or rules out Justin Jefferson. Everybody else is on the board.
Amon-Ra?
I want to say Saquon.
Saquon?
Because I don't see how he has a bad game. Because you got to think, they've been just inundating Saquon with touches in good weather.
Yeah.
This is in New York, so it's going to be windy there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Saquon for me. I mean, I know he's my number one running back. Yeah, it's Saquon. If you can afford him, shoehorn him in there.
Cordero Patterson or Tony Pollard from Cousin Colin Greene?
Pollard.
Pollard.
I don't trust Arthur Smith. I mean, I go back to the Thursday night game. Cordero Patterson had 3 or 4 good runs, and then you never saw him again because he had to play Caleb Huntley and Tyler Algier and Avery Williams.
My Falcons fan guy said that he feels like that was still injury related. Cordero's not 100%, so they were just playing coy with Cordero.
Then why is he returning kicks?
And then Cordero will be back. I have no idea.
I heard that, and then you've got him returning kicks. So that's either bullshit or you're completely out of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only 2 paths. I mean, the most likely place that somebody could get re-injured would be on a kickoff.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
That doesn't make any sense to me. And look, I do sometimes undervalue that some people are just stupid. And that could be the case here.
What about MVS tonight since Juju and Mecole are out from Rob Johnson?
I don't mind it.
Peoples Jones or Connor in the flex from Scott Gunther.
Did you answer Stone Sportscast? He's got 6,700 left.
Didn't see that one. Oh, he's got 6,700 left for a flex, but could potentially move a defense around for more money. What are you thinking?
If you were able to move a defense around, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown at 7,200. You got Kamara at 7,600. At that, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'd go Gabe Davis or Amari Cooper. I want pieces of that game now that I'm looking at it. And
City 400 for Amari Cooper.
I can't believe I'm going to play 4 wide receivers in possibly the windiest slate I've ever played in. That feels like an Aaron
game
judgment
for most of them.
Yeah, I got. They're all dome games actually.
Oh, well, there you
for
go.
all the receivers. Son of a bitch, I'm playing dome game for damn near everybody. Let's go. I'm glad you said that. That made me feel a lot better about that.
Right. You're welcome. Let's see here. 6,700, so you answered that one. Go.
I would go Gabe Davis or Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper.
I'd like to have both. I have a lineup with both.
Peoples Jones.
How many lineups does Jeremy fire in the Millionaire between now and 1 o'clock?
Peoples Jones or Connor in the flex?
Peoples Jones.
Jeremy will fire as many as he can.
Because now I feel like I've got the 20-player pool of I feel very good that I've got the 9 that are correct. I just have to put them all together in the same lineup.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how that goes.
Ramondre, Cordero, Jamal Williams, or Hollywood if he plays in a flex from Joshua Penix.
Ramondre.
Agreed there.
I am fat and sassy on Ramondre Stevenson today.
Chris D, why
Same.
Damian Pierce over Kadarius Toney?
Because he's going to play. Who else is?
Because Damian Pierce is a top 5 running back in the NFL, and Kadarius Toney might not be a top 5 wide receiver on his own team.
Because
that's the bluntest way I can say it. Damian Pierce, there is
who
never
else is going to
really
play
a
offense?
game. There's never a game where you look at Damian Pierce and go, I'm going to sit him. He's in that Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley realm.
Yes.
And don't fall for the Kadarius Toney thing. He's touchdown dependent, just like every other receiver Kansas City's ever had, not named Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce.
This is a new name. I've never seen it. Brady Zabloodle.
Please let us know how to say your name. We really hate fucking people.
That wasn't right. Brady Z wants to know, he says he needs 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex full PPR. So set his whole lineup here. Devontae Smith, DJ Moore, Rondale Moore, Cordero, James Robinson, Jamal Williams. So who you sitting out of that group?
2 receivers, 2 running backs, and a flex. I'm sitting DJ Moore. And there
Over Rondale?
Yeah. DJ Moore with Baker Mayfield is a non-playable player in the NFL. We've seen it time and 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 time again. And now Baltimore, I mean, who else are you worried about? He was unplayable with Robbie Anderson, who could at least beat you over the top.
Mm-hmm.
What are you worried about now? Terrace Marshall, he's not good at football. Shi Smith, I love him, but not exactly a threat. You're going to put a guy on him and go, and you're done now.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm totally out on DJ Moore. Yeah, I would play every guy in that list over him. And that's saying something because I don't love Cordero Patterson or Rondale Moore today.
Same.
Who do you like better this week from Jeff Johnson, Pickens or Palmer? He's just throwing out peas now on purpose.
100%.
Just
because I mean, when blood starts trickling out, as a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and let's do that.
Pickens, Palmer, pick one.
I'll go. Oh God,
Palmer.
It's Palmer. That's who I want to say. I just stick to my guns.
Squilliam Garvez.
That might be the greatest name I've ever heard in my life.
Old Squilliam. Waiting for Njoku's clearance. If not, I will have to settle for Foster Moreau on the tight end spot. I cut Waller after his inconsistency. Not much else on free agency for the tight end spot. What are your thoughts?
I would not have cut Darren Waller if you've got an IR spot. But, I mean, I understand why you would get there. Foster Moreau is not a bad play. He's a back-end tight end 1 for me, high-end tight end 2. If Trey McBride, if he's out there, because I have a funny feeling you're going to see a lot of him this week, and people will lose their minds over him because Zach Ertz is done for the year. So they're going to try to figure out what they have in him. But, I mean, remember, tight end is a tough position for players to learn, and rookies don't tend to do it well. So the good thing is that they're not going to ask him to block because, well, he can't block.
All right, we got a string of super chats here.
Hot. Let's hit the button a bunch of times.
I'm your huckleberry.
Deontay Foreman or James Robinson from Rob Johnson?
Deontay Foreman.
Hit it again.
I'm your huckleberry.
Dark Soldier. Keenan Allen or Curtis Samuel?
Curtis Samuel.
Hit it again.
I'm your huckleberry.
Dark Soldier again. Flex. DeAndre Carter, Chase Edmonds, or Jawan Johnson?
Yep, now there's going to be blood coming out of my hair. Now there's going to be blood coming out of my hair for a completely different reason.
Wow.
Is Ben Skowronek available in your league? Because if Ben Skowronek's available in your league, I feel like you can cut Jawan Johnson and just slide him right on in there. If I had to answer between those three,
DeAndre Carter, Chase Edmonds, Jawan Johnson.
Let me go to my super flex rankings. We're going to have to scroll. All right. Chase Edmonds is my... Am I actually going to have to search him in my own fucking rankings?
Probably.
I'm to 230, and I haven't seen him yet.
Jesus.
I can't be that. He can't be that.
No.
I don't think he could be because there's Rex Burkhead, and I'll go ahead and tell you I'd have had Rex Burkhead ahead of him. There's Jawan. Okay, it's Jawan Johnson.
Where's he ranked?
145.
There you go.
He is one spot ahead of DeMarcus Robinson.
He wants to know. He says Ben is available. Was that a joke or no?
No, that's not a joke at all. Ben Skoranek, go get him right now. Matthew Stafford does not have enough time to throw to outside receivers. That's the reason it's been so bad. Ben Skoranek is going to play in the slot. They are going to move the ball. I'm not telling you he's going to be great, but he could be Cooper Kupp light. Mm-hmm. Ask yourself this. Is he 70% of the player at Cooper Kupp? I would say yes.
Yes.
Which means, I'll put it this way. In terms of was that a joke? I am now playing 14 DraftKings lineups. As of right now, Ben Skoranek's in every fucking one of them.
Because he does all the things. He
and
runs
he
out the
could
slot.
get
He can
carries,
do
too.
end arounds. He could do all the – because they do that when they have a full boat. They run those Ben Skoranek end arounds all the time.
They have no incentive to lose. They don't have their first-round pick. This is not a team that will tap out.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is going to score. I can't believe it's Allen Robinson, especially not this week.
All right, let's hit some of these rapid fire here. Yasir Ahmed, start Mooney or Keenan Allen?
Mooney.
Yeah.
Colin Greene, if Chase Young is back, should I draft the Commanders or the Pats defense?
Commanders. Yeah, Commanders.
Carr or Matt Ryan from Raw WB?
Carr. I don't love either one.
Or should he pick up Davis Mills or Taylor Heineke?
No.
No, it's Carr.
Carr.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones or Kirk Cousins from Rob Johnson?
Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Ebenzel, Kenyon Drake or Damian Harris for higher upside?
Kenyon Drake.
Yep.
Ooh. Next fantasy question here. Chris D. Oh, he says, I traded Hopkins and B-Rob for Kenny Walker and George Pickens.
Dub.
Yeah, that's a good one.
John Curtis said his drug of choice was originally Sutton, but he's gone to rehab, probably relapsing today. I actually don't hate that. I could see Cortland Sutton being a decent to good fantasy play today.
West Virginia Willie. So, Jeremy, would you start Jamal Williams or Cordero Patterson over Pierce?
Oh, good God, no.
Hell no.
Here's the thing. Dameon Pierce gets touches, and Lovie Smith and that offensive staff do not give a flying rat's ass what the score is.
No, they don't.
They can be down by 3 touchdowns with 4 minutes to go. He still gets the ball because they don't like anybody else.
Just because he said Dameon Pierce could be the trap today doesn't mean to do something dumb.
Well, and that's not – I understand why you would ask that question.
To go for Cordero Patterson over Dameon Pierce?
I mean, Cordero Patterson was a high-end RB2 last year. Problem is that we're not in last year,
right.
And there are 3 other running backs there.
Right.
Jamal Williams, that one's much closer than one would think,
is.
especially with DeAndre Swift currently being nothing more than an illusion. But yeah, for me, it's Dameon Pierce no matter what.
Let's see. How does Dallas cover Justin Jefferson? How does
Poorly.
Dak keep up? Patrick Peterson just beats the hell out of young wide receivers.
From what I hear, Patrick Peterson may not even be on CeeDee Lamb. They know it in terms of speed and physicality, he cannot deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he had a couple interceptions in zone last week does not mean Patrick Peterson 8 years ago, well, it would have been a much different story. Today, CeeDee Lamb will eat him for lunch.
Dark Soldier wants to know Keenan Allen or Curtis Samuel.
Curtis Samuel.
Alex S. Garrett Wilson or Scary Terry.
Terry. Taylor Heineke has a great flavor for Terry McLaurin.
Rodgers, Wilson, Jones, Dak, Cousins.
Rodgers already played. In that, I'll go Dak. Dak 1, Daniel Jones 2, Cousins 3, Wilson 4.
Andrews or Dulcich from Alex S.
Andrews.
Not. Yeah. I mean, you want it to be close, but it's not.
Well, you don't. The reason it's close because you don't know how healthy he is. I mean, if Mark Andrews is limited, then that becomes much more of a question. I don't think he will be, but if he is, it would be close.
Sendo wants to know, who do I play at my wide receiver position because his wide receiver room is dead. Chase is hurt. Mike Evans because he's on a bye. I do have Ben Skoranek, but I have Slayton, Dotson. He could pick up DJ Moore, surprisingly, but literally has nothing left.
Ben Skoranek and Darius Slayton would be how I would roll. And hope you have a good running back for the flex.
Stone Sports Podcast has the best one of the day.
Yep.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Yep. Saw it coming. See, that's what happens when I catch up with the chat. I saw that coming.
But if Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
He's going to show up tomorrow, and there's going to be one of those big-ass spitballs on his fucking microphone.
How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? That's the question. Cam I am, pick 3, PPR. Gabe Davis, Pollard, Singletary, MVS, or Paris Campbell?
Go ahead, Armchair. I think I know my answer.
Gabe Davis, Pollard, Campbell. MVS might be in there.
That's exactly where I want to go.
Okay. Alex S., Komet or Dulcich?
Dulcich by a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, little King Boo ASMR. That's all you need. All you need in life.
What the fuck is ASMR?
That's the it's like the people that get off on sounds.
Oh. Now, right now, he's getting off on the fact that he's blowing my eardrums out with some hard peas.
Indeed. Stephen Grease, trade question, offering me DK Metcalf for Jeff Wilson. My roster notes, I have Eckler, Barkley, Cordero Patterson, Jeff Wilson, and Mike Williams.
I'd do it.
Gabe
your
Davis,
running backs are good,
Lazard,
your receivers
Rondale
aren't.
Moore.
I'd do it. Your running backs are good, your receivers aren't. You have 2 no doubt starts every week in Eckler and Barkley. I mean, I hate to lose Jeff Wilson. I hope all of you listened to me and went and got him last week because he is no doubt the number 1 running back in that room. I don't really understand why. Raheem Mostert just okay. He's good at footballs and everybody hates him.
Justin Parton, does he risk playing tomorrow, Hopkins tomorrow, or should he start Adam Thielen?
The better question is, does Tank risk what I'm going to do to his microphone overnight? There's one of those big-ass balls that keeps that from happening that's right down the hall, and I only but need to figure out how to adhere it to that. I'm playing Hopkins.
Yeah, I would as well.
I don't think he's really at any risk of not playing.
Shamar Sam, pick 1. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Garrett Wilson, Curtis Samuel.
Ooh, that's a good one. Armchair, the question basically is, do you go for the upside of Mike Williams or the security of Curtis Samuel?
Yeah, Samuel's your safety there.
It depends on what you need. If you need 13 points out of this wide receiver, you go Curtis Samuel. Don't think a second thing about it. If you're in a matchup where let's say you're the dog and you need high upside, I'd go Mike Williams.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I feel like I'd feel pretty good about taking my chances with both of the LA receivers and pick which one
I think
plays.
Mike Williams is going to play.
I think so too. But I'm saying if you got them both, pretty positive one of them is going to play. Dark Soldier Flex, DeAndre Carter, Chase Edmonds, or Juwan Johnson. We already did that one.
Yep. Tyler Cunningham said he thinks Kamara will be low-owned and go nanners today. I don't disagree with you. I'm actually curious where they have his ownership.
Well, they have it at 13%. Hold on, let me refresh because I don't know when that was last updated.
That's a little high for me.
Yeah, it's still 13%.
That's a little high for me.
which means it's probably closer to 20.
Or it's closer to 5. Are you using PFF?
Always, yeah.
Yeah. They tend to be the most accurate.
JP asks, start Deontay Johnson or Darius Slayton in a half PPR.
Ooh, half. I still like Darius Slayton there, I think.
As do I.
Yeah, I'm going Darius Slayton. I wanted it to not be that, but it is.
Jaden Foote, Rondale Moore, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney.
I think it's Mooney there.
I agree. Owen Gergen has Rondale Moore or Dameon Pierce, and the flex is Dameon Pierce. Unless you're throwing me Saquon Barkley at Dameon Pierce, it's going to be Dameon Pierce.
Mr. Crowler wants to know Patterson or Pollard.
You're fixing for something.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to like it.
Yeah, and Jeremy's got a little bit of a headache because he drank 43 domestic lights yesterday, and it's starting to piss him off. I can't even make my piece go that hard, which is ironic because neither can tank. Boom.
Oh,
lawyered.
Got him.
A weak stream joke.
I am 40 now. Anybody got the number for hymns?
I just poured coffee literally all over myself. I don't know what that means, and I don't think I want to know.
Hims, that's the that's the generic Viagra shit. Yeah, I'm 40 now. When your Facebook sees you turn 40, they start feeding you those fucking ads, whether you need it or not.
You know what they say at the bottom? You want to see my pecker? You want to see it? I'll show it to you.
Nice.
Yep, Chase taking me around this morning saying that repeatedly.
Sure, she enjoyed that. Being sick.
She laughs. She laughs every time I do it. Mr. Crowler asked Patterson, Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
Pollard.
I'll go Pollard.
Herbert or Dak.
Damn, that might be the best question we've gotten yet.
I'd say it's Herbert.
Fuck.
I think Armchair and I are in a race to see who will answer this first.
If Herbert's receivers are healthy, it's Herbert.
But see, you're not going to know that.
But you're not going to know that, so it's Dak.
I agree. He said that exactly how I wanted to.
Herbert is the better of the two quarterbacks.
No doubt.
If he's got his weapons, then he is the no doubt start over those two week in, week out. But you don't know.
His game script has a possibility to be bootsy.
You have no idea about shit. You know shit about what's going on with his game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So is Dak.
Agreed.
Daniel Hillman, should I cut Tony for Ben Stro? I guess that's
Ben Skoranek. I don't hate it.
I like that, all right.
Stone Sports Podcast, how do we feel about the Nico Collins Skoranek tag team?
I don't hate it.
Gives you lots of money other places.
What's Nico Collins cost?
$8. I think he's 4,200.
All right, that's not too bad then.
I think it's 4,200.
I don't hate it. Okay.
I just keep looking at my my big DraftKings lineup today.
I stopped tinkering a minute ago.
I'm not tinkering. I'm just staring at it. It makes me want to think. It makes me want to investigate this Hims thing. Because frankly, if I could get more revved up than I already am, it'd get gross in a hurry.
What are you trying to do? Fuck cinder blocks?
Maybe.
Jesus.
Knock out car windows. Bow! Let's go.
He's a one-way ticket to a heart attack, folks.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I've already tapped out on my 50s. We're currently challenging the 40s.
David Elliott says David Smith brought me here. Thank you for coming, and thank you Armchair for bringing him.
Absolutely.
This is great stuff, guys. Question of the day: does Jeremy have Little Debbie Christmas snacks today, or is that just an early morning treat?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked this question.
He couldn't remember his computer. You think he remembered the snacks? I had to say it.
He's not wrong. In fairness, he's the one that had to drive across town to get it, and I greatly appreciate that. His pea predilection notwithstanding. So there is a gate in our studio. We've had Deflate Gate. We've had all the gates in the NFL. We have Christmas tree gate.
Yeah,
because somebody stole my last 2 Christmas trees, and when I find out who it is, you ever heard that phrase "fuck around and find out"? I ask very little, but I get really pissed when people touch my shit, and I leave a lot of it in this studio, and it seems like a myopic thing that somebody ate my Christmas tree cake. I literally treat that like you stole my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that sounds weird. It's just, and if you asked, I'd give you all of them and just go buy more. But for you to come into my office and steal them, that makes me very, very, very angry. So no, I did not have a Christmas tree snack this morning, which is why I'm getting progressively angrier as we go.
Mm-hmm.
And if whoever stole my Christmas tree is listening, I highly advise when I get here in the morning, there are 2 sitting on that table. And if you really want to get in the good graces, you go to the gas station, buy the individual ones that are a little bit bigger.
Oh, yeah.
And then all will be forgiven.
King-size Christmas tree cakes.
If not, you have fawed. And now you will foe.
I don't understand why Little Debbie doesn't do that in the first place, and I feel like that is a strongly worded email to the folks in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where Little Debbie is made. Why are you not making king-size Christmas tree cakes? And when I say king-size Christmas tree cakes, I mean like, I don't know, that big?
Like the size of a car tire.
And about that thick.
With 5 layers of cream.
Ooh.
Because we're super fat.
Yeah. Yeah, we have that tendency.
All right, if you've got further questions, be sure to fire those away. I have to make a stop before I go to the Village Porch today.
Because now he's got to get Christmas tree cakes.
Nope, I have to go to the pharmacy, but I bet they have those there too. So, yes, that will be another thing that I got.
Keenan Allen or Garrett Wilson from Alex S.
I feel like I have to clarify that I'm going to the pharmacy because my wife is sick, not because I have a venereal disease, because I know you people and I know what's coming. So I had to clarify that.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
But you all thought it, you nefarious bastards.
100%.
Which is why I love you all.
Keenan Allen or Garrett Wilson from Alex S.
Jesus. That's another good
Garrett
one.
Wilson's a better play, but that game is going to be gross.
It's going to be gross. It's going to be windy. I don't know that Keenan Allen plays. Can I answer somebody that you didn't put in there and say Ben Skowronek again?
you go get Ben Skowronek?
When Ben Skowronek has 2 catches for 11 yards today, I'm going to look like a big old douche bag.
Rob Johnson, Swift, James Robinson, or Elijah Mitchell?
Elijah Mitchell.
Full PPR, McKenzie, DPJ, Pittman, or MVS?
I feel like you people are just asking players with P's in it just to see if I could get really pissed. Full PPR, I'll go. God, I want to go Peoples-Jones right
By
there.
the way, that came from Juan Pulido.
Please let us know if we said your name correctly.
And welcome in.
We're like an AA meeting for sports. Please comment your drug of choice. Tanks is the letter P.
Mine is Patrick Peterson.
Mine is reminding you that if you want to join the Battle of the Bell, click the link in the description.
Whoa!
Don't forget to like the stream. Make sure to share it out with your friends. If you want to join the House of Reprehensibles, it's a little join button there. Get into the Discord where you can get access to Tank, Jeremy, and myself. Tank making fun of Jeremy usually drunk, and me answering some fantasy questions way outside the line. Someone had to do a read at some point, right?
Beautiful.
Bingo.
Good for you. Glenn Hopper, Hunt, Michael Carter, Chuba Hubbard. Got to have 2.
Hunt, Michael Carter.
Yeah.
Agreed. Is it parlay time?
It's always parlay.
I got one for you.
Ascendo says best money play, One pick from each. Just going to lay 20 on it and donate to the local humane society in my town.
It's a good guy.
If it hits. All right, good deal.
It's a good guy.
All right, so one pick from each.
I'm going to give you the under in Pats Jets and a money line play. I will go Minnesota Vikings because I feel like Vegas is daring you to do that.
I am going to go under 47 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, Toronto Argonauts. It is the Grey Cup today in the CFL, and I know nobody really cares about it. I will tell you that it's not as good as the NFL, but you can bet on anything, and it's going to be cold as hell in Saskatchewan where it's played. Take the under.
Excellent.
That's Armchair throwing out CFL bangers.
I'm going to give you Minnesota Vikings plus the 1.5 against the Cowboys.
So you're using the same one I used.
Did you use that?
Yes, I did.
I wasn't paying attention. You know when you speak, I don't listen.
Nope, that's my line.
Stop copying homework.
Stop copying homework. Nice. Okay, well, how about Browns plus the 8?
I don't hate that at all.
Nope.
I really don't.
Nope.
Browns plus the 8.
Boys and girls, I'm going heavily aggressive. I have entered $400 worth of entries on DraftKings with one lineup in the last, 7 minutes.
Good night.
Yeah, I like this lineup so much that I can't even give it to you. I love you all, but you cannot have this one. I will give you one.
You probably figure it out.
If you've listened to the duration of this show, you probably figure out.
Eric Bradley's got a tight end question, Higbee or Pitts?
This is a week I think I go Kyle Pitts. They're going to have to throw. I mean, Justin Fields is going to score points on this shit defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's Drake London, but on the off chance that they get Kyle Pitts going this week.
Mm-hmm. Juan Pulido, Brian Robinson, McKinnon, Elliott, Patterson, Drake. It's full PPR. He's got to choose 2. So Brian Robinson, Jerick McKinnon, Ezekiel Elliott, Cordero Patterson, or Kenyon Drake.
B-Rob and Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Agreed. Rob Johnson, Deontay Foreman, Swift, James Robinson, Curtis Samuel. Pick 2.
Say it again.
Deontay Foreman, DeAndre Swift, James Robinson, Curtis Samuel. Pick 2.
Curtis Samuel.
Deontay Foreman.
Yes.
Kamara or Cook? Michael Meadows asks.
I like Cook.
I do too.
Bill Buttigieg says, I'm hiding the Christmas trees under my big-ass Inspector Gadget jacket. Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget wore a big-ass jacket.
No. Okay.
They kept all his shit.
Okay.
Hey, we're almost back to 3,000 subscribers again.
Yay!
After 14 of them dropped out last week. Oh, and we lost one as I said that.
Oh, dicks. Daniel Hillman, when your wife plays fantasy football and just noticed Taysom Hill is on a bye, that means she just found out the Dolphins in the bye weeks and just gave me a honey to-do list. Hot. Ascendo Wildrift says, what's that? Oh, yeah, they're loading up the peas. Paul Perkins, who's that?
Let's see. Bryce Perkins is the backup quarterback for the Rams. I don't know who Paul Perkins is.
Paul Perkins.
He sounds like he might be a pilot for United.
Stone Sports Podcast says he has the Bengals Steelers over.
I can't go with that. I would be aggressively on the under.
He says
I understand why you would say that.
He needs somebody to tell him not to take the Steelers outright today.
I can't do that because I want to do the same.
Do it.
I can't do that because I want to do the same.
Matthew Hoffman.
First thing I told you.
Matthew Hoffman, Kamara or Jacobs?
Kamara.
Kamara.
Daniel Hillman says he has a friend that plays linebacker for the Argonauts.
Well, that's cool.
Interesting.
It's a better league than people think. It's weird, and it's hard to watch sometimes, especially when you're used to the NFL, but it's a different game. It's a different game altogether. They're still pros. They still play football.
Yep.
And I can still bet on it.
There you go.
That always helps.
All right, looks like this should be the last one. Jaden Foote, Dalton Schultz, or Kyle Pitts?
Dalton Schultz.
Yes.
All right, there you have it. Get in the DFS contest while you can. Link is in the description of the YouTube video. We got the battle for the belt going on. You don't need to have played with us before. All you got to do is win 1 week, and you are into the finals. We'll be with you tomorrow to recap all of the NFL action on ESPN Asheville at 3 o'clock.
Tank will have a big phallic-looking thing on his microphone to keep those hard P's from blowing my eardrums out.
A phallic-looking thing. You can put like a big danger?
Yeah,
you can put a danger on my microphone?
Kick.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't want to see that at all. Okay, last one here. Looks like a Nikki Lou. Kittle or Dulcich?
Go.
Kittle.
It's
Kittle,
but damn, it's close.
Yeah, it is.
Eagles or Pats? Defense.
Eagles.
Zeke, Mooney, or Gus at the flex? Will there be no Gus?
Gus is out, so that's out.
So Zeke or Mooney? Mooney.
Yeah, I'd go Mooney.
Mooney over Zeke.
I think they're throwing. I think they're behind.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Enjoy the footballs.
All of the footballs, thank you for joining us. As always, you're the best. You're the best of the best. And we appreciate you more than we could ever say.
Absolutely.
This week, look for some salty new shit. Maybe a Jeremy Plays GM in the new studio. I've been looking for something to play with over there.
There you go.
Oh, wait, we got more.
Oh, God. Scary Terry or DPJ?
That's from Michael Meadows. Scary Terry. Did you get James Harrington?
No. Cooks, Skoranek, Moore, or London?
It's Ben Skoranek season, baby!
All right. Good luck to all. We will see you tomorrow.
Go, Jets, go! Jets, 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 Jets!